PAC Athletics here with first-year head coach Jordan Bruere. Introductory press conference brought to you by UC Health. Coach, thanks for joining us. Media Day 2025 in the books.
Yeah, it was a
How
great
was
day.
it as your first kind of official act here in the fall of 2025?
It was fun. The girls loved it. We did 2 days of Media Day, and they just killed it. They had a lot of great ideas and had a lot of fun.
Coach, obviously we're going to get going here this next week. You got the Navy Red game, preseason kicking off. Just kind of what are your opening thoughts, just what you're looking to see? We know obviously exhibition, so nothing too crazy, but just kind of what are your expectations here in this first week?
Yeah, we have a great team for fall 2025. A lot of great girls. Not only are they good people, but they're athletes, man. They're getting after it every day. We had a great preseason. Very, very competitive. We have some good depth, so I'm excited to see some of the different things we can do this week in our exhibition matches for sure.
So obviously we know you've got a lot of history here, CSU Pueblo alum and volleyballer yourself, but you've been in this conference for a while now. You were at Western Colorado. You had a lot of success there in Gunnison. 6 girls you've inherited from the previous team. Talk about those 6 returners that you're able to inherit. Just talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to come into a program that has some girls that have been here for a while. What I appreciate the most is that they bought in right away to what we're about as a coaching staff, and they're ready to get after it. So it's kind of hard when a new coach comes in. You never know what you're really going to get. But with this group, they just want to win. They want to be the best, and they're willing to do what it takes to be the best. So they bought in right away, like I said, and they're just ready to take the bull by the horns and get after it this year.
We've also got 12 newcomers coming in as well. Some of them coming over from Western,
Yes.
and you've also got a few incoming freshmen and other transfers. Just talk about those 12 girls that you've been able to bring in and how they've already kind of bought into this Pueblo culture.
Yeah, super blessed to bring in that many athletes. What's I'm super grateful about is that half of them followed me here from Western. So I recruited them to Western, let them know kind of what the situation was, and asked if they wanted to, this is the place they wanted to be, and they wanted to follow us here. And super grateful for that. When you have 6, kids that are here and 12 that you bring in, sometimes it could be a little sketchy. You never know how the girls are going to respond to each other. But I'm telling you, the first week of preseason, this team really just came together as one. They all have the same goals. They want to be the best. Like I said, they want to win, and they're definitely going to do it together. Our word this year is limitless, and they don't want to set a limit or ceiling on themselves, and I love that they came up with that together as a team, and they have not, taken one step back. They're getting 1% better every day, and I just love what these girls are doing, coming together to play as one.
Talk about your 2 Pueblo girls. We know Pueblo's a very rich volleyball community. You've got Grace, who's coming over from Western, and also Casey, who's
Yes.
coming over from Western. A couple of Pueblo girls. Just talk about them, how you were able to get them back here in Pueblo, and just kind of that Pueblo volleyball culture.
Yeah.
And talk about your 2 assistants as well.
Yeah. So Casey and Grace are from Pueblo, and the second, that I took this opportunity, I brought them into my office at Western, and I'm like, hey, so you guys want to go play in front of your home crowd? And they loved it. They're like, heck yes, Coach, we're coming with you. And, they're super pumped to be here. I know they're going to help us fill the stands this season, as well as my assistant coach, Bruere Manchego and G. Wagner. They both are from Pueblo pretty much, and, the people are so excited to have them here, to be a part of the PAC, and our fans are definitely going to be full this fall.
16-11 season last year for CSU Pueblo under Austin Albers, and it was a first-round exit there in the RMAC tournament to Regis. Just kind of looking at back last year, I know you've done your homework on last season here in Pueblo. What do you think needs to happen a little bit better? Obviously, it was a tough schedule, a tough non-con schedule that Pueblo played last year. But just kind of looking at last year, looking at this year, see a little bit of improvements you think the squad can improve on?
Yeah, so we have a very tough non-conference schedule. We go to Texas twice. We're going to play West Texas A&M 2 times, which if you know anything about West Texas A&M, they're one of the best. So, yeah, I think that's going to kind of set the standard and see where we're at, and hopefully get us ready and prepared for conference play. This is one of the toughest conferences, I believe, in Division II volleyball. So I'm super excited, to be a part of the PAC again and lead this program. But I think these girls are ready for it. I don't really care what happens in preseason, but I do think it's going to get us prepared for conference and set the tone to, for where we want to be at. We talk about every single day about being 1% better. We talk about, our word limitless, and we're always going to be one of the best serve-receive teams. I think last year Pueblo struggled a little bit serve-receive-wise, and that's something, even as a team we've talked about. And we're working on that, serve receive, and getting better at that every single day because that first touch really means a lot. So if we can get that first touchdown, we can run our offense, and super excited to see what we can accomplish from there.
What are some of your strengths? Obviously, you were 500 team at Western last year, 7-7 in conference play. So we can look at Western a lot last year with a lot of the girls coming over. What are some of the improvements that you might have seen at Western that brings over to Pueblo? Bringing over to Pueblo.
So kind of go back to serve receive. I think we did such a great job at Western, and we're able to get into that 8th spot because our serve receive was solid. I don't think at Western we had the pins and the offense to do everything we wanted to do, but because we serve receive so well, we were able to just get after it and score. And so I think with having great serve receive here, and we have a lot of depth on our pins, I think we're going to be really successful in that aspect.
How important is it to you? Obviously, it's kind of a silly question, but CSU Pueblo was really good at home last year. Massari Arena, an extremely tough place to play. You played in it as a player. You've coached in it as well. Just talk about how fired up you are for September 19th, that opening home game here at Massari Arena.
Yeah, man, that's a long ways away, huh? But no, we're excited. Like I said, I really think the fans are going to be filled this year. I remember when I was in college, that was my favorite thing about this gym is it's a big gym, so you got to get a lot of people in here for it to feel kind of crowded. So we hope to get the student body here, a lot of the people from the community, a lot of Pueblo supporters, and even some Western supporters. So, to play in this gym again and to be able to coach in it, we're super excited, and I think that first game is going to kind of set the tone and the atmosphere, and hopefully we have a lot of people continue to show up week after week for us.
Talk about your depth as well and kind of the competition your girls have. You were able to have a little bit of competition there in the spring, and then obviously here in the late months of summer. A deep team you've got. Talk about how the competition's going. With everybody kind of really fighting for a starting spot in the rotation. How's that going?
Yeah, so they are making our jobs really difficult. We have some depth in every single position, which I'm super grateful for, which makes them better. Every single day they have to come in and compete from freshmen to seniors. Our depth is huge. I think our freshmen are coming in and stepping up to the plate right away. So again, like I said, making our job really tough. But yeah, with our depth, it makes me excited because we have an opportunity to move things around, see what works better for us, what doesn't. So, that depth is just going to continue to help them compete day after day and make us better as a whole.
Talk about Chi a little bit, named to the All-RMAC preseason team. We were able to get her in a Pueblo jersey for that graphic as well. So Chi is, coming over from Western, an incredible player. That's why she's been named to the preseason All-RMAC team. A libero from Japan. Talk about her a little bit.
Yeah, she's just a kid. She's silent but deadly. She's going to come in, get after it every single day. Being from Japan, she just has a different kind of play in her. And she's a good leader. She's silent about it usually, but she's always going to lead in the back row and make her presence known. So I'm excited that we were able to get her here.
How's preseason-wise? How's the injury report? Everybody staying healthy? Pretty good.
So far, so good. We're making sure we're getting in the ice bath and stretching and icing and doing all that fun stuff.
There we go, Coach. Well, the Navy Red game this Friday. And then, of course, you open the season there in Canyon there for the West Texas tournament. Coach, thanks for joining us, and we're sure looking forward to for opening weekend, and then September 19th, home opener in Pueblo.
Yeah, go Pack.